So on today's event, our next keynote speaker is Onize Sanni, and she's a seasoned finance professional and associate chartered accountant with over 5 years of experience in Nigeria's fintech ecosystem. Please give her a round of applause. At least we're supporting the green tags here, are we not? She has held key roles in leading startups such as MoneyPoint, Mono, Softcom, Prosper, Eyowo, and Benjamin Dada Blog. Clap, it's not easy now. People, eh? Yes. She has contributed to their growth and operational success. Currently, she is serving as the finance business partner at MoneyPoint Group, Africa's fastest growing fintech. Onise leverages her expertise to drive strategic financial planning and business decision making. Beyond work, she leads as the flight lead for the Covenant University alumni class of 2018. So she's also an eagle, reflecting her passion for impact and community. She blends finance, fintech, and purpose and enjoys writing, reading, and continuous learning. Please, people, give a round of applause as I invite Onize Sanni to the stage.
Hi everyone. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. It's really, really great to be here. I'm very honored. I'm the non-technical person amongst a very large cohort of technical people. In fact, when they first reached out to me and said, "Oh, this is what we're inviting you up for," I'm just like, "Are you sure you remember like what I do? Like, are you sure you're inviting the right person?" And they said specifically they wanted me to appeal more to the people from business courses and CDS. I think it's no longer just CDS, CBS, and you know. But generally, the non-technical people that always feel like, oh, I mean, I'm sure since the beginning of this program, you just be hearing tech, 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 and you feel like all this doesn't apply to me. But in the real sense of things, I would really like to start off and tell you that actually, very much there is space for you. There, in fact, anything you want to do, there is like, don't feel left out. Don't feel like, oh, all this doesn't apply to me. Because whether you like it or not, I feel like the realization I've come to is, as a non-technical person, is that technology is literally what is running the world right now. So even if you seem to be operating in an industry that seems to be not technical, whether you like it or not, you still have to deal with technology. So thank you very much for inviting me. Um, I mean, they already introduced me. My name is Onize. I'm the finance business partner at MoneyPoint, and I am a chartered accountant. So that's what I've done, throughout my career. In fact, I became a chartered accountant just as I was convocating from school in 2018. And today, I'm going to be telling you about taking the driver's seat. And in this sense, taking the driver's seat of your career, because I feel like there are, from my observations and the way I've seen things go, there are two ways you can actually choose to, you know, there are two ways you can actually choose to approach your career. You can either just plan it, know what you want, go for it, or just roll with whatever comes. Please, next slide. So I'm going to start off with this quote by Steve Jobs. I really like quotes a lot. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. So, according to what I saw, was supposed to be from Steve Jobs. And when you think about it, I mean, the average person, I think, will graduate at 19, 20, 21, and will probably work to 60, 65. So that is 40 to 45, 46 years of your life that's going to be spent, working and building a career. So that's something that you want to be very intentional about. In fact, when you think about it, you have 7 days in a week. Out of those 7 days, you're spending 5 days. Out of those 5 days, you're spending, 8 hours doing work. And in this day and age, you're probably even spending more than 8 hours doing your office work. So whatever you're working on, you have to make sure it's something that you truly believe is good work, you truly believe is great work. Next slide, please. So now, like I already said, I said the trajectory of your career is entirely dependent on you. So you either choose to plan it out or you roll with the punches. So the first thing one thing I would want to say is whatever you're doing now in terms of course you're studying, in terms of projects you're working on, things you're currently interested in, what you'll be doing in maybe let's say after you graduate, a few years into your career, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and even 40 years that we've chosen as the entire span of what a career could be. It would take different turns, it would take different forms, different shapes, different. In fact, you could be doing international relations now and you don't know, but you graduate and 5 years down the line you're probably a cybersecurity expert. If somebody tells you now, you're probably going to laugh at them in their face and say this person doesn't know what they are talking about. As far as I'm concerned, I'm very passionate about what I'm studying in school, and I'm only interested in working in the UN. But in the real sense of things, the way your life and the decisions you would make would eventually lead you to that point of being a cybersecurity expert. But the thing is that you cannot see it now. But what is now important to you is to make sure that whatever decisions you are making now, and however you are living your life and you're approaching, your life, your career, make sure that it's leading you to positive outcomes, it's leading you to better outcomes. Like Linda said earlier before me, she said something about serendipity. And what that basically means is that life is literally, things will happen. There are things that are planned, and there are things that there's nothing you can do to plan them. Whether you coming out on a random morning, oh yes, it's rainy season, but the fact that rain is falling is not something that you would probably be able to control. So, like she, using her example, like she said, she just went to volunteer at the lab, and somehow, she ended up meeting one of the senior directors. Now, that's something she would never have been able to control. I'm sure maybe if she wanted to say, "Oh, I wanted to meet the senior director," she could have tried her best, gone to their office, tried to use all the connections and all of that she has, and it wouldn't have worked. But just by putting herself in the right place at the right time, she was able to make serendipity work in her favor, and she was able to meet the person that helped her. That, like she said, that was a very great catalyst in her career. So I want you to think of your career as whatever I'm doing, it must be good work. And what I like to define as good work is that whatever you are doing, you are contributing in one way or the other to an organization, a company, to fulfilling a goal. Whether you don't have to be the founder yourself, you don't have to be the one that started it, but let it be that you are contributing in one way or another to positive outcomes in people's life. You are contributing to adding positive value to people's life. So in the sense that there are some jobs that I don't believe are great work. One that I would boldly say on any stage, anywhere in the world, anything that has to do with betting, any capacity, anything you're doing, whether you're the CEO, you're the back-end engineer, you're the accountant, I feel like anybody that is working in those companies, you're not providing positive value to anybody because your product is actually destructive to people. So great work is anything that you're providing positive value. And the thing is, because we're in the tech conference, we're hearing all these do hard things, build fast, and pay attention to speed and all of that. And everybody is inclined to think of the flashy things. Oh, you're writing the code, you're building the shiny products that everybody can see. But the thing is, there is so much that goes into getting these products to run. There's so much that goes into getting these companies to run. I would use where I work as an example, Money Points now. When you think of Money Points, you think of number one at terminals, you go everywhere, you're paying with a Money Point terminal. Now, for that, anytime you make a payment on a Money Point terminal, the people that are on the back end powering that company, there are compliance people that are making sure that bad actors don't get into our system. All our customers are compliant with CBN. Me as an accountant, at the end of every month, as an accountant, what is very important to us is our month end, because that's when you close the books for the month. We literally just left 1 month end week. You are literally not sleeping for the whole month because you have to crunch all the numbers, present everything, make sure that everything is correct. Because any business that is running operations and is not properly able to account for their money is doomed for failure sometime in an immediate future. There are the support people, customer support. The CEO is not going to sit down to be taking call. The CEO that probably came up with the idea and is running the company is not going to sit down to be taking calls to attend to the complaints of customers. And these are just one of the few. In fact, something as important as procurement, I'm sure that's something you've probably never heard of. But for every company to run, there needs to be a procurement team somewhere at the back end, making sure that everything that everybody else in the company needs, they are able to buy it at a good price, that the company is able to manage their money effectively. So this is just to tell you that a lot of the jobs you end up doing, you probably don't even know about them now. Again, back to the example I gave of the person that you are doing international relations now, and tomorrow you are going to be a cybersecurity expert. Because you won't know until you actually get there. You actually not know until you get there. So the first thing I would say is be open, be curious, be ready to take risks, be ready to take opportunities. Next slide, please. Yeah. So, what do you have in your hand? Now, anytime I think of this phrase, what always comes to my mind is that place in the Bible where I think it was Prophet Elisha told the widow came and told him, "Oh, my husband died. He left a huge debt. I don't have, help me." When you think about it, why are you going to meet a prophet? The prophet probably doesn't have money, but she had faith. And the prophet asked her, "What does she have?" And she said she had a jar of oil, and he gave her the instruction. And anytime I think of this phrase, "What do you have in your hand?" This is what I think of. That's why I used this, icon in the middle, because it's literally the same thing you should think of when you're approaching your career. What do I have in my hand? What do I have? Now this is just some examples. Skills. What can you do? What are the things you're capable? Okay, I'm currently, I'm a back-end engineer, I'm a front-end engineer, I'm learning this, graphic design, I'm able to do this. Even down to like soft skills. Oh, I am a very good MC, or I'm a very good teacher, talent. The lucky ones amongst us that God decided to pick as his favorite and he gave special skills to. That's something you have in your hand. Your experience. Now, all of you that are building stuff, you're literally, this is already work experience that you can package. And you're leaving school and you say, "I already have 2-3 years of experience because since my 300 level I've been building products." Your certifications, for somebody like me, because of the career I was going into, I knew, there's nowhere that I've gone to that I've heard of when I hear of accountants, I always hear of chartered accountants. What do you need to add the chartered in front of the accountant? You need to write exams. And I went and I wrote the exams that were required. Like cybersecurity now, they were talking about how they need so many certifications. Your network. Dixie Nusofo spoke about it earlier, how he was very conscious of the people he made his friends and how those people are now very important to what he has built to date. Leadership, taking up, opportunities. I think Covenant does a good job in that. There are so many opportunities for you to lead. Your service units, class rep, course rep, all these groups and communities that we have all around. And even your personality, that ties closely to talent, because the things that you do that come naturally to you. Oh, you're somebody that can talk very well. It means you probably can explore. Not necessarily you have to, but it means, there's a very huge possibility that you can even succeed at a career in sales just because the way you were born. You came out and you already had words in your mouth and you were talking. Next slide, please. So what I call next steps and what I want you to think about is things that you should hold close to you, things that you should, be conscious of as you go forward into, building your career. And I mean, a lot of what I will even say here are things that earlier speakers have said. So it will just be like reinforcing what you already heard. So now I said, stay curious, keep learning. So is that thing, learn, open up yourself to, oh, what's happening today? It says AI. What's this AI actually about? Be curious about it. Be naturally curious. Just, I mean, you might not even necessarily have to go deep into it, but it's just that fact that you know about it, you are able to, you are able to engage people. You are able to, it basically opens you up to more, if we are being honest. So be open, ask questions, try new things, take risks, and learn fast. I mean, especially now, this is the best time for you to, do all these things. I mean, I don't want to say you don't have anything better you're doing with your time, but you're here for your education. And to be honest, this is part of education. Education is not just passing your exam and going. Education is actually making sure that you enrich yourself with knowledge. So take initiative and do great work. Take initiative and do great work. Okay, you have all these small, small ideas that you feel like, oh, I can actually explore them. I can, do something about them. Like David said earlier on in the morning, he said some of all these things people don't know about it. Well, when you think about it, it actually doesn't waste, because everything, it all builds up into the person you are. It contributes to the experience you have. It contributes to, your portfolio as a person. It contributes to the projects that you've said you worked on, whether you succeeded at it or you failed. The important thing is that the knowledge you come out of it, you will not live there with the same knowledge that you had before. Now, own your journey. Basically, everything I've been saying. You don't just, anything goes. When I graduate from school, I'm just going to sit down and apply for random jobs, and whichever one clicks, I'm going to take. No, you have to be very conscious. I mean, there are some people that they know what they want. Okay, as for me, I know I want to do investment banking. My goal is Goldman Sachs. I might not get there immediately. I might probably have to start from Stanbic. What does Stanbic have? Stanbic has a graduate training program. Okay, that means I have to graduate with 2-1. Come rain, no matter what happens. So there are people that it might be more straightforward for them like that, and there are other people that it might not be so straightforward. It might be that, oh, okay, what are the opportunities I have around me? Let me take advantage of this one. Let me see where it leads me to. And there's one thing I always tell people is that, number one, don't let yourself get stuck. No matter what, don't let yourself get stuck. Even if you might have to settle in some instances, make sure in that state of, oh, I settled for this job, oh, I had to take this course because, they didn't give me the course I want. Make sure you are being proactive to that you are not just going to be on the same level when we come back to check on you 6 months or 1 year. You're being proactive to make sure that you actually move to the next level. You move to a higher level. So build relationships. I mean, we already spoke about it earlier, network. And the thing about building relationships, I'm sure as Dixie, well, maybe it's possible that he was that conscious that, this person, I see you're going to be great, I'm going to be friends with you. But if you check, I'm sure most of his other relationships were actually just organic. Okay, this person is my roommate. This person is my classmate. This person, we always somehow see ourselves in cap and we're always saying hi. Or this person, we go and watch football together. Because at the end of the day, there's the place for strategic relationship building that, oh, I see this person, I admire this person, and I want this person to be my friend. And, because these people always say parasites. So that's the point I'm trying to make, that in your building relationship, don't just, oh, I'm building for my network. Let it be that you are building genuine friendships. Because at the end of the day, these are people that will hold you, like, they'll be your actual friends. So it's not just that, oh, I'm trying to build my network because this person might build the next Facebook and I want to make sure that I benefit from it. No, make sure, let your own goal to be, oh, I want to be a friendly person. I want to be a kind person. I want to be somebody that adds value to people in my own way. Or it can be that you're just the most cheerful person, and what you do is you're just very good at encouraging people. You just, by the time you talk to somebody, if the person is feeling down, the person comes out feeling like, oh, they are the best things in sliced bread. And from that's how you're able to build a relationship. So there's a place of strategic being conscious. I want this person to be my friend, but I feel like majority of it is actually just deciding to be a friendly person, a kind person, and a value adding person to your friends. So next slide, please. So now I titled this slide, "It is possible," because I really wanted. You remember I said whatever you are doing now, there's so many possibilities that you can get to that you probably don't even know about now. And I mean, these are a few of the parts. I mean, all these are people I actually know. I just did not put their name there. I just summarized their life into their career. So accounting, this person while he was in school actually started building a startup. Now, the startup did not work out. He actually had to shut it down. They were not able to move far. But from that startup, he ended up in his product management career, and now he's back to being a tech founder again. So even if he did not want to be a founder again, he wanted to just build his career. He was already doing very well. So this is somebody that, as a 100 level, he probably did not know anything about tech. He wanted to study accounting and even started writing ICANN, just like me. MIS consultant, CFO. Now, this person studying management information system probably would have thought he would end up in a career in tech, but somehow ended up as a consultant and now is a CFO. Funny enough, also in a tech company. Now, this one, computer science, human resources. The person started off, I'm probably going to be an engineer, a back-end engineer. The person was writing code in their exam, but somehow the person finds that she's working as the head of a the HR department of a company today. Same thing with engineering. I mean, imagine going to do 5 years, and so I'm sure if as she was grinding, maybe in her 5th year, when all her normal mates had graduated in 4th year, and you're coming to tell her that this your engineering degree, you're not going to use it for anything, you're going to drop it, and you're going to be HR. She probably would have slapped you at that point. But now she has built her career and she's enjoying where she is. So business admin to product designer. Now, this person specifically, I remember when he told me that he was not a product designer, I was so surprised. And he explained that, what happened was he actually used to go around one of these tech hubs, and, he said he even tried to learn how to code, but it just seemed like it wasn't clicking. And he decided to try product design, and that one clicked for him. And that's what he's doing currently. Psychology to consulting to product management. I mean, anybody that is doing psychology now, that's probably not what they would have in mind. Accounting to tech reporting. This is the very unusual one. Like accounting that is dealing with numbers, tech that is dealing with writing. How do you correlate them? This is somebody that also even started building a career in accounting, but just because he writes well, had always been writing, publishing articles on Medium, and a tech publication actually reached out to him and hired him. So it wasn't anything that he was even like, I want to become a tech reporter. It was that because of the work he had been doing, because of the experience he had, they saw what he had and they felt like it was valuable enough for them to hire him. Now, engineering, teaching. And when I say teaching, I mean teaching primary school, not lecturing. I was very conscious of putting teaching. But because she did not just teach, when you think of a primary school teacher, I know what's in people's mind. But she was very conscious of, building herself even as a teacher. She went on, she even worked with the UN for a while, UN or World Bank, one of them for a while, came back and now is a startup advisor and a consultant to EduTech. Theater arts, product manager, tech founder. Theater arts, wanted to act, even started acting, but somehow abandoned the career. It probably would have been winning AMBCA by now, but my guy is building a tech company. Now, this one, accounting executive assistant, venture assistant, general manager, very interesting because, an accounting graduate just even went on to do her master's, and I think the story was just after she finished her master's, somehow she was obviously looking for work, and the opportunity that came up was for an EA. Now, I know EAs, they are quite elevated. Not just anybody can be an EA to a CEO, because you need to be very smart. It's not just to book calendars and manage calendars and all of that, but still, somebody with a master's degree going to be an EA. But she got into that job, and from then on, if there's one thing you should know, is that being the EA of a very good CEO is almost like an internship being a CEO. If you know what I mean. And from then on, she went on because the company she's working with is a VC firm. She went on to be a virtual associate, and now she's a general manager in that state, that same company. Now, this one person studied biochemistry, probably did not find work, and settled for customer support. But in this role, she looked around and said, "Oh, I don't just want to do this forever. I mean, I feel like I can grow." And they asked her what she wanted to do. She felt like she could do data science. She went, did a few courses, took some courses, and within the same company moved from doing customer support and now is a data scientist. I have another one. I didn't write it here, but I just remembered it now, and I said thought to mention it. Engineering, same engineering, 5 years engineering, mechanical engineering to be specific. Graduated, even started working with a big multinational, Lafarge. Lafarge. Spent over a year there and decided she didn't feel like it was what she wanted to do long term, and resigned. I mean, this one, not everybody can take that kind of risk. I won't even be able to take that risk, but she actually resigned and stayed at home for some time to focus on being a data scientist. And now she's actually a data scientist and has gotten a job as a data scientist. Now, I titled this slide "It is possible" because, again, back to my earlier point of whatever you are doing now, don't let yourself get stuck. I mean, it's not a bad thing if you feel like you can do it. I want to be the CFO of a bank. There's a path. You can map it out and you can focus on it and move with that path. But I feel like for majority of us, we have to open up ourselves to serendipity. We have to open up ourselves to opportunities. But the thing to make sure all these opportunities come, remember what I said, what do you have in your hand? Is to make sure that you've equipped yourself. Is to make sure that you have, skills, you have bankable skills, you have something that you can take to the bank. In fact, anytime anybody reaches out to me today, "Oh, I have this person is looking for a job, the person is looking for for somewhere to work," the first thing I always ask is, what can the person do? And it's the same thing everybody would ask, even before looking at your CV. What can the person do? What's the person interested in? What has the person done? Even if he failed, but you have that experience from it. Next slide, please. So now, I mean, if you like reading like me, I decided to put up a few books that you could read. So good they can't ignore you. The summary of that book is, as the title said, be so good that nobody can ignore you. So whatever it is you are, make sure you are really good at it. Then the startup of you. This is the co-founder of LinkedIn, and the summary of the book is treat your career like a startup. The way you manage a startup from idea to product to taking it to market, how you should treat your career. And the defining decade by Meg J is, I really like how she talks about how we should. I feel like this book is even more relevant to the wise people than us, because if I'm being honest, I don't think there's anybody in Nigeria that wastes their 20s, because the country itself is already trying to waste it for you. So we are already fighting back not to waste it. But still, I feel it's a book I've read like 2 or 3 times because of how much I really like how she gave a lot of examples, and she just makes you want to put yourself together and be serious with your life, basically. So in summary, I want you to leave here today knowing that you have the wheel in your hand. You have the wheel in your hand. So make sure you drive yourself to a destination that works for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I believe we've learned a lot, right? Have we? Have we? No, we're almost getting time for break. So the KFC just came in. Chicken Republic also came in. Put your hands together. Our hosts are trying. It's Google Money we're using now. Clap, clap, clap. Don't worry, everything's covered. Yes. So do we have any questions for Onize as we proceed? Oh, okay, okay. They just signaled me that Market Square is also around too. Yes, Tantalizers came in too. So enjoy. There's a plethora of things to break. All right. So do we have any questions for Onize? Two questions. Remember how we go. Two people, one to the left, one to my right, and you must have not asked any questions. So I have my two people, Ella and him. Please come forward. Come ask. Oh, no problem. Just ask the questions there.
Hi, everybody. Hello, ma'am. My name is Martins Emanuela Odita, and I'm in 300 level mechanical engineering. So, when I saw that you came off the stage, okay, when I saw that you came, hi. So when
Don't put it too close to your mouth. Thank you. All right.
so when I saw that you came, hi. So when I saw that you came up the stage as a non-tech person, I was happy because I felt that you probably be able to relate more to maybe what I'm facing. Um so I have recently I've enjoyed like managing projects and organizing people, right? So and Miss Linda talked about serendipity, and I feel like this career path that I've chosen is somewhat by chance, right? Okay, so last year I was chosen as the project manager for like a game development competition, right? And it happened by chance again because I was not supposed to be part to be there, and then this group happened to not have a project manager, and I was like, "You're like, you know what? You go there and be the project manager." And by God's grace, my team came first position. So thank you so much. So early this year, I was like, you know what? Why not take project management as a career path? And then I started doing project management, and I've been on a continuous learning spree, and I've tried to get certifications and work on different projects. So now here's the problem: I do not know where to look. I do not know. I do not have the slightest idea of an environment where I can bring my skill set or like add value and grow. So maybe I'm the one who is not looking in the right places. Maybe I'm underestimating, you know, good things for myself. So I just wanted to ask you, where do you advise someone in my shoes look for the best opportunity to scale in my career?
Thank you very much for that question. And I really love how you basically validated everything I've been saying that, I mean, you're studying mechanical engineering and you can already see that this mech I'm doing is for my parents and not necessarily, I mean, it's not going to waste, but the first thing I would say is project management is something that is very broad and it's something that is useful everywhere. It's something that is useful in different scenarios. So I feel like number one, you should not put too much pressure on yourself because number one, you're still in school. So I don't think when you say you're looking for opportunities, I don't think you are ready to start a 9 to 5 currently. The important thing is find that this is something you can do. You started even building your portfolio. You already have track record of managing a project that won a competition. You've gone ahead to start writing the exams. So it's to continue. Oh, there this event now was managed by somebody. It was probably a project manager. There are other things that you can do within school and even outside school. I mean, in volunteering capacity. Now the thing is, when is now time to look for work? It's now what you might be looking for might not necessarily be product or project manager. Sorry, you it's very important to read the job descriptions of. That's one thing I always do in personally. I'm always reading job descriptions because I personally, as at when I was in school, I did not know there was a role like finance business partner. It's something that just came up. So what you want to do might be in packaged in another name. So it's important that you are reading those descriptions. See what are they asking for. Oh, at the end of the day, I don't think there's any company that you go to that don't want their projects to be effectively, to executed. So this is something that you can do everywhere. It's just to make sure that you are not just limiting yourself that, oh, I'm looking for a project manager role, and that's the only thing. Only when I hear project manager is when I'm interested. You can hear somebody, oh, I have this idea, I have this. I don't currently, in my 9 to 5, or because of this business I'm doing, I don't have the capacity to work on it. I need somebody else that I can give resources, and the person makes sure it's executed. The person might not have, the person, I did not say I'm looking for a project manager, but that's actually what I'm looking for. Okay, Sanni. Mm.
Right, my name is Peju Albi. I'm in the Department of Economics. So I want to ask a question based on something you said about networking. So like me personally, I'm an introvert, and net, when I try building relationships with people, like genuine relationships, I usually get off the vibe that like I see the insufficiency of a lot of people, like in the sense that some people have pride, some people are nonchalant and all of that. And me, I'm not that kind of person. It's time to be chasing after someone. So when I network, I try to network with people that will give me value. Like, okay, I know this person is doing something relating to my line, so I'll network with this person because I know I'm going to gain something from this person. But he said something about genuine networking, so I just don't know where can the line be drawn. Because me personally, if I'm chasing or if I'm trying to create a genuine relationship with somebody and the person is giving me off strange vibes, I will not continue. So I just want to know from your perspective, what do you think about it?
Okay. The first thing that comes to my mind based on everything you said is, relationship building is actually two-way. For friendship, for romantic relationship, if you are interested in somebody, oh, I see this person, I like this person. But somehow, the person probably doesn't see the same value in you, and the person doesn't reciprocate. There's only so much you can do. Eventually, to fizzle out. Even like there are friendships that would start off, and you okay, maybe you guys were friends, you guys were roommates, and when you were roommates, you guys used to talk a lot and you gist a lot. And in your mind, this person was, oh, this person is my guy, this person is my friend. Then next semester, you guys are not friends, are not roommates anymore, and you realize, oh, because you in your mind, you feel like, oh, this person was my friend while we were roommates. You are putting a lot of effort into that friendship, stopping by the person's room to check up on them, I don't know, buy food for them. But then after a few months, you realize, oh my god, this person doesn't even know where my room is. This thing has been one-sided. In fact, you might not even need to realize it. Somehow, a lot of relationships like that will always fizzle out. That's because it was not two-way. So I think that's one very important thing in networking slash relationship building, that it has to be two-way. There's only so much you can do. The most you can do, like I said, is to be open, friendly, honest, kind, just try to be a blessing to other people. Some will stick, some would not, and that's just like, even the ones that will stick, some will eventually fizzle out in front. That's still just like, there's only so much you can do about it. I'm using the example of Dixon that said he identified somebody that happens to be one of the founders of Piggyvest, and he was very conscious to be the person's friend. Now, it's possible that if the other guy, for some reason or any reason or the other, just decided, I don't really like him. Maybe not that he doesn't even like him, you just did not see the need to be friends with him. That relationship would have fizzled out. It's really what he's talking about today. So I think you should not stress yourself too much about, oh, I'm an introvert, or even the at the core of it, yes, relationships and friendships are built on value. But I feel like at the beginning, if you just start off with being your most honest self, the emphasis of being your most honest self, so you're not trying to form what you're not. And that happens to be that for some people find that they're actually not so friendly. So they might have to work on being more friendly. There are some people that, oh, they are jovial with everybody, they are able to gist with them. I feel like I'm not even like that. I envy my friends that are like that. They enter a room and I see that the next thing they're talking with everybody, and me, I probably enter a room and I go and hide in a corner because that just happens to be. But that doesn't mean I don't have friends. Somehow, even with what I have, I'm still able to work with it because, like I said, personally, the foundation of relationship building is just be a good person, be a kind person, be a decent human being. I feel like once you have those in place, everything else will just be left to serendipity, to just be left to time and chance, to just be left to God probably wants this person to be your friend, and the person will just develop an unending love for you, and the person is going to carry your matter on his head for the rest of his life. So, and that's just how life is.
Thank you.